Hello, this is a short video on how to give your feedback on the new science standards. If you will go to the homepage of christiansforscience.com, you'll see a link after you see this homepage, a link to the latest update. And if you click on the latest update, you'll see this page that talks about the feedback that's available right now. Basically, you have these four steps. Review the standards, identify some concerns that you have, visit the survey, do it, and then share it with others. What you could do is you could look at this document, the entire document, click this, and it will download the entire set of standards for you. And this is good because our period of public feedback will be ending in March, and it gives you a little time to look at it. At any rate, our major concern are the biology standards, which begin on page 33. So, y'all excuse me, I'm going to scroll down to page 33, and here we have the biology. Okay, so again, this is a high school course that students are going to take, and I would point out to you a little concern here in the last two paragraphs, talking about the standards include concepts and biological evolution. It's coming across like this is just something we all study. Students investigate biological concepts through experiences in laboratory and so forth. Of course, biology cannot be observed today, so it's a little difficult knowing how to study it in the empirical world. Anyway, the next paragraph talks about biology students are able to recognize the central role the theory of evolution plays in explaining how the diversity observed within species has led to the diversity of life across species through the process of descent with adaptive modification. This statement is understood to mean that evolution, that is molecule to man evolution, or particle to people, is the overview of understanding of the scientific world, how man came to be. Now, as a Christian, we understand there's a serious problem based upon the reading of Genesis 1:1. So this is the beginning of the concern a Christian may have. Now, if you will go through the standards, and I've highlighted these for you so that you could understand what I'm talking about. There are certain places that are areas you want to take a look at. Probably the most, what I call egregious, is this SB6, where it does talk about the theory of evolution, and the reader is urged to look at this carefully. Now, what I did is I made a little document with my suggestions in these areas just on the biology if you want to take a look at it, and that is linked right next to this video on the latest update page. Okay, anyway, so that's about the document. Okay, now the next thing that we need to do is we need to do the survey. And so we're going to click link to survey, and we have this page that pops up, and we are asked to conduct a survey. And notice the deadline, March the 14th. So we notice here at the bottom, we're asked to click next, so we'll do that. And then the next question would be, which of the following describes your role? And so you're asked to pick one of these. Let's just say I am a parent. I'm going to click at the bottom, next again. Which county? I'm going to say, I'm just going to pick Carroll County. That's the county I live in. I'm going to say next. All right, now this button takes you to the different levels in the new science standards. Again, you may have comments you want to make about other grades. I'm going to just emphasize biology with this video. We're going to hit next. And then I come to a series of questions. And I'd like to talk about these for a moment so that you feel more comfortable. All right, number one, Are the standards clear and understandable? Well, it helps to read through them yourself. And I would say overall, I would agree. They are appropriate for the students who are in this grade level of or course. Well, personally, I don't think evolution should be in there, so I would say that would be inappropriate. They define what students should know and be able to do. Now, other than the evolution, there are things in there that students need to do. Remember, we are Christians for science. Are relevant to real world and career applications. Well, that's assuming you know a little bit about that. You could either say agree or you could say I don't know. Number next, are rigorous enough for challenging learners? That is a very good question because sometimes in education we don't focus on the students that are doing well and have exceptional ability. If you don't know, you could click don't know. Next, are sufficient for the instructional time allocated to this subject course? And again, you may not really know. Okay, so you could say don't know. I would say agree. Prepare students to meet future challenges and become world-class learners. Now, this is a big question, and are our science standards a minimum to help people move forward? That's great. This is the reason why this is being done, to update our science standards. You really don't know. You don't know, or maybe you really do agree because you have some insight. Now, we will know in 5 or 10 years if that is the case, but right now I'm going to say I don't know. And then next, okay, please enter any comments you'd like to make. So this is an area where you have an opportunity to be very free in your comments that you make. You could drag this window over like this and you could type in a variety of things. You could say, I do not want evolution to be taught without including other models or evaluating its strengths and weaknesses. Now you could say a variety of things. You could just simply say, I do not want evolution to be taught as a fact. And then when you're done with making your comments, you want to click submit. It is urged upon each one to put something in this box and something in your own words. So I'm going to click submit. And then my information has been recorded. And I could go back to the standards again and pick another grade or so forth. So that didn't take too long to do. And that's an important part of the work of a Christian concerned about education in the public schools. That's called giving your feedback. When you're done with your feedback, if you want to, I'm going to have a little link next to this sample video highlights. I'm going to have a link called suggestions where I provide more information for you on the standards. But if you notice the last step, share with others. And yes, the Department of Education needs a pretty good amount of Christian involvement in this. And that's because if there's going to be any walking back of the evolution, there must be some type of documented response from Christian folks. So this is why it is extremely important to get this message out. So that's what this last statement is. Help get us the word out. Send a link to this page to all your friends. I suggest you use social media. You can make business cards. And here's the document for the front of the card and the back of the card. You could just, take this card and you could take these two documents, print them out, and make cards and hand it out. That's actually very effective. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then on the bottom here, if you want to use an article for the local church, here's an article that was made and put in the local paper. Okay, so this was read before a church, and it was very, it made a lot of sense. So that's an idea that you are certainly free to work on. And then I made there's a larger version of this, and at the bottom, if you just have a little spot in your publication you want to include, you could use this free of charge, and that will help you in your advertising, what's happening, and the need for people to be involved. I hope this short video helped you understand how to give your feedback on the new science standards that are proposed in the state of Georgia. Later, in the months ahead, there'll be a State Board of Education meeting where it'll be voted on and adopted. Having been through this a few times before, it's important for everybody to know once standards are adopted and voted on, they are practically impossible to change. So keep that in mind as you do your research and carry out your responsibility as a citizen and taxpayer of the good state of Georgia. May God bless you in this work, and may God bless our good state.